It's been an absolutely insane week when we're talking about the CS market. Specifically, my inventory is up around 33% in just the past 2 months, which is crazy growth, but it's even crazier when you consider how diversified a portfolio is. If you want to look at just the previous update Valve did with the M4s, obviously a lot of this has actually been sticking around. We talk about how updates like this, generally speaking, either explode in price and lose it all, or they slowly go up. Here we're seeing a lot of this growth sticking around, and it's a really big testament to what we're seeing overall in the market. We have just had the biggest opportunity created by Valve ever with their latest potential update. We're going to talk about that in a quick second, but there's so much going on right now. It's absolutely insane. Every single market is going absolutely crazy. It's absolutely amazing to see this massive growth. Talking about the player counts, people are interested in the game, and the best part about this all is if you're making the right investments, this is a ton of potential profit for you, and we're definitely going to be cashing in. If you're looking for the lowest fees on the market, Skin Vault is the perfect place for you with a free up to $10 on your first trade. They've got a massive deposit bonus to help you out if you're trying to buy some brand new skins, or one of the best prices you're going to be finding for an instant sell site, which is absolutely perfect. Plus, their fees for everything is nearly 50% cheaper than the competition, and your trades are going to be taking under 30 seconds right now. This is a project of Nade King, but the truth is, use code MasterShiny, I'm just better, and it's going to be the lowest fee you can actually find if you're looking to trade your skins. Now, someone who's been in the case market for a significant amount of time, I will tell you there was one specific update that made me tens of thousands of dollars, and it's actually crazy how this happened when Valve went ahead and got rid of the non-prime drop pool. They went ahead and moved 5 or 6 of these cases into the rare drop pool just like that, and all of these cases started to absolutely explode in price because they went from getting constantly dropped to now not dropped at all. An update like this, I was able to buy tons of them at their super cheap 5, 7, 10 cent prices, which is crazy to think about today. And now obviously these are worth in the $3 range when we're talking about your Spectrum 2, your Revolver. Lots of these cases are extremely valuable, and I think honestly we may be approaching a second opportunity when we're talking about the case market. Now, before we get to that though, we got to talk about exactly what's been going on inside the case market. We're seeing the massive explosion of prices all across the board. Now, previously we had just talked about how it was those older, a little bit more expensive rare cases that were really taking up the spotlight. Your Spectrums, your Gammas, your Revolvers, a lot of these cases that are a little bit more expensive were going up quite rapidly because we had saw some of the cheaper rare cases a little bit before that go up in price, but it's now back to the cheaper rare cases overall. These cases are going massive, absolutely insane. We're talking about nearly $1.50 for your Danger Zones, your Prismas, absolutely insane. Your Snakebite cases almost at 50 cents. I mean, we are seeing the most massive run up in case prices we have seen in a while, and the truth is, I don't think they're going to be going back down. If we want to look at the data, which we'll talk about in a quick minute, overall, we're seeing a very strong unboxing number ratio, and it's going to be a really solid opportunity because those active duty cases even are still expensive. Now, we're not making any investment into those, but they are an opportunity there because they are so expensive. Rare cases are still going to be benefited by that. It's a perfect opportunity, and we're going to be talking about the data that backs it up in a quick second, but overall, I am just such elated to see this news for the case market. I've been talking about it for a fat minute now, and the fact that we're actually seeing it start to come to life, especially with some massive profit all across the board, is absolutely perfect. Now, there's a lot going on in this tweet right here, and honestly, it's going to be taking a while to break down, but the gist of it is basically Valve is changing up the way they're going to be paying out their creators. Now, in the current market, say you have a skin in the case. Every time someone buys a key, you're going to be getting a small percentage of the revenue that's created back to you for obviously the skin you created inside of that case. But inside of the new model, they're going to be doing it a little bit differently. That's because they're going to be basing it around the Armory and paying you every single day that your item is actually for sale inside of the Armory. Now, with that being said, obviously this probably implicates that there's going to be something new coming to the Armory in the relative future, which is very cool, but there's a lot deeper meaning than this, and specifically it comes down to cases. Now, why exactly does it come down to cases? Because of one thing going on right here, and that's the fact that it seems like they are kind of done with the current case model. That's because obviously right now we've got 5 active duty cases, but with everything that we're kind of seeing here, it's a very strong possibility that Valve is trying to move away from this model into something that we're seeing for the Armory, where you have to grind out stars in order to get the case or the pass or whatever you're trying to do, like we're seeing now for the gallery case. This has such major implications, it's hard to break it down in just a couple minutes. Obviously, I just mentioned the previous example of the non-prime drop pool and how I made a ton of money there. It's obviously not guaranteed anything we're going to be seeing here, but the fact is rare cases are definitely going to be benefited by an update like this, because obviously if a case takes a lot of grinding to get, it's not going to be a super accessible case, and therefore the cheaper cases like we're talking about our Snakebite or Clutch are probably going to be going up in price. Obviously, you've got the implications for the active duty drop pool, which we don't exactly know yet. I think that's a very speculative investment to make, but it is a possibility. Right now what we're seeing is Valve is definitely scared because of the current model. We're running out of cases, we talk about it constantly, and therefore that creates a huge opportunity, and Valve changed it up for these rare cases and these older cases to be super profitable, and it's definitely something I'm really excited to see. Now, talking about everything for the Armory, people have definitely noticed it's starting to get a little bit stale. We've been going back and forth, mainly talking about the graphic collection. Obviously, if you're looking to make an investment into the skins collection, which now seems like a stronger possibility with everything we just talked about in the previous tweet, I would definitely say go for the graphic collection. It is definitely one that is going to be having the strongest, or rather more easy path to success in terms of the skin collections. Otherwise, your charms, your stickers, the stickers have strong application numbers, and I definitely think if they are removed, I'm going to be making a heavy investment into them. Charms are okay. Obviously, you got to remember that they're never going to be fully removed because you can always just detach them from your weapon, but they are still doing decent ROI wise. Now, talking about the supply situation we're seeing for the case market, once again, we are in a massive deficit. If we want to look at this example right here, this is basically the amount of cases being dropped versus the amount of cases being unboxed, and as you can see, the red line is above the blue line, which means we're running in an overall case deficit. This includes active duty cases, which is the biggest piece of information that you need to know, because obviously the rare cases are being depleted at such faster rates. If you want to look at them specifically, you can see obviously their red lines are significantly above their blue lines. Their blue lines are just barely there because they're in the rare drop pool, which is 1% of drop cases, and there's 40 some opportunities inside of this 1%. Now, this all leads to the fact that I think cases are going to be in a very strong position moving forward, specifically these rare cases, which I've kind of been going back to and alluding throughout the video. Now, one really crucial piece of information is going to be this graph right here. This is the number of case listings on the Steam community market, and as you can see, it is down to nearly 1 million cases. This is the lowest this number has really ever gotten, except when we saw a massive peak back in 2023, which the market was kind of broken for. Obviously, you can see right here, this is a super low number, and it's something that you should be very informed about, because obviously this means that theoretically we're getting close to a squeeze. Whenever the case listings start to get lower, we get closer to a squeeze, because obviously people are not willing to sell, and that's how we see quick run-ups in price. That's how you can make a ton of money inside of this area, and it's definitely a huge opportunity. We're not there yet, but this graph definitely shows us we're starting to move towards it, which is a really good sign of a lot of good things to come. When we're talking about the situation of the overall market, I think there's not really any items I would describe as a bad investment right now other than the capsule market. I definitely think if you're looking to make an investment, I would avoid the sticker major capsules. Even if we're talking about Shanghai or Copenhagen, I just definitely think you're going to be having a much stronger opportunity somewhere else, especially right now. Now, what should you do right now? I definitely think if you've got some cases and you want to sell, I would personally say hold on. We're not to the point yet where we're even seeing peak prices. I think honestly we're just getting to the point now where the prices are relatively stable and relatively similar to what they should have been at the whole time. Cases have always been undervalued in my personal opinion. I would definitely say there's a strong future ahead inside of this area. If you got rare cases, the opportunities are endless with these unboxing numbers. That's all I got. One thing is, so have a great rest of your day.